Welcome back. Chapter 17. Anyone watching would have sworn I've been gone for years by the way BB King jumped a whooping 6 or 7 inches off the ground when I went to pick him up at the doggy hotel. But apparently he hadn't been all that lonely. The attendant introduced me to his new friend Molly, a much younger Schneiser who wore a yellow bow in her black jerry curl. She wagged her tail at about 45 RPMs, and when the attendant handed me BB's leash and we headed toward the exit, he acted like he didn't want to leave. When I opened the door, he actually turned around to blow Molly what appeared to be a kiss, and the look in his eyes made it clear he was telling her he wouldn't wait to see her again. He couldn't wait to see her again. You should have gotten her number, I said after Mr. King took his sweet time getting in the back seat. I could tell he hadn't heard a word I said because he was too busy looking out the back window. And then I heard him flop down on the seat and moan. It was then that I realized BB King had fallen in love. Lucky for him. Before we got inside the door, my cell phone rang, and when I saw the block call, I just said, "Yes, Peggy." "Have you seen or heard from Jalecia in the past 48 hours? "No, I haven't. Why? What's going on?" "If I knew that, I wouldn't be calling you." I thought about hanging up on her right then. "Well, I'm not high on her call list, as you very well know." "You don't even sound like you're concerned." "You've got a lot of nerve saying that to me, Peggy." "I apologize. She usually checks in, that's all, and I'm worried, but she's not back with loser number 10, and she's not in jail, so I'm just stressing that she might be on a binge." Just then, a call came in on the other line. I saw Jalecia's name appear, and I just said, "That's her calling me now, I'll call you back," and I clicked over. My heart was beating so hard I could almost hear it. "Jalecia, hello?" I said. "Hi, Mom. How are you?" "I'm doing okay, I guess." "Sorry I missed your birthday." "It's okay. How you doing? Peggy just called asking if I seen you." "I'm not surprised." "Are you on something? Your voice sounds sluggish." "I've been in a very bad way, which is why Aunt Peggy kicked me out." "What do you mean she kicked you out?" "She asked me to leave until I sobered up." "Well, where are you?" "You don't want to know." "Yes, I do." "I'm in line to register at a shelter." I wanted to scream out, "A shelter? Are you crazy?" But I didn't. Instead, I composed myself and said, "Would you like me to come get you?" "Would you?" "Give me the address and I'll get there as fast as I can." "I don't know the address." "Please, ask somebody, Jalecia." "Hold on. A lot of these people in here are stoned out of their minds." I waited, and I waited some more. And then she came back on and told me the address. "I'll be there in 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere, Jalecia." "I'll be standing outside," she said, slurring. I was there in 10 minutes, but she wasn't there. The attendant had no record of her checking in. I was angry, but mostly scared. I dialed her back, but it went straight to voicemail. On my third call, I left a message. "Hi, Jalecia, this is Mom. I'm at the shelter, but you aren't standing outside like you said you'd be. I even went inside and they didn't have a record of you being there, but I'll just wait here a little longer because maybe you'll be here soon. I'm praying you're okay. Please call. I'm worried about you. Love you." And then I just sat there for 10 or 15 or 20 minutes hoping she would call me and that maybe she was just around the corner or upstairs asleep and had used a fake name. Maybe she was in the ER, but if so, which one? And what would her emergency be? I called the closest ER, but they weren't allowed to give out that information, so I just sat there and worried and waited. Then I called Peggy. "I haven't heard from her. She's probably somewhere trying to sober up. Just wait a little longer." Sounds suspect, don't it? "She said you kicked her out." It wasn't the first time. When she got out of control, she has to go. Are you trying to help her or not, Peggy? Look, I'm her aunt and she can trust me, but she got issues and I've got rules. I'm doing all I can to keep her healthy, but I'm no psychiatrist. What's that supposed to mean? I think there might be more to her drinking than she lets on. Jalecia is smarter than you might realize, but something is making her crave self-destruction. I didn't know what she was talking about, but rather than piss her off, I just said, when and if she decides to stop drinking, maybe she'll be smart. Maybe she'll be her smart, witty self again. If only, she said. God, she reminds me so much of Antone and myself, of course. I've been where she's headed and I've just been trying to stop her from getting there. And she hung up. I still wasn't ready to leave. I believed Jalecia might be in there or on her way, so I decided to wait. I didn't realize how hard I had been gripping the steering wheel until I let go of it. I was trying to figure out what to do. I was also trying not to cry, but then I cried. Where could she possibly be? And did she lie? I wondered if I should call the police. But what would I tell them? That my 41-year-old daughter is missing? I was starting to wonder if she'd done this on purpose just to upset me. I never knew what I did that made her think I was her enemy instead of an advocate. Except say no to her. But I said no to Jackson too, and he respected my authority. Jalecia resented it. I looked around and there were homeless people asleep in a park across the street. Some lying on the grass, some on top of a royal blue tarp, and some rolled up in dirty blankets. Quite a few had dogs with them. I watched cigarette smoke swirl into the air and disappear. Grocery carts overflowed with possessions. I pretended I wasn't looking for my daughter, even though that was exactly what I was doing. But I didn't see anyone who looked like her. I wondered if her being so lost in life was my fault. I had tried to be a good mother to her and Jackson. All I ever wanted to do was make them both proud that I was their mother. I always wanted to make everybody proud. That was why I spent 4 years in college, and that was 50 years ago when black girls weren't getting degrees in business. But I wanted to work for myself. I wanted to be a modern Madam C.J. Walker. But being ambitious can backfire when you're black, a woman, and a mother. Maybe I should have been there more. Maybe I shouldn't have used the money my absent father had left me to open my beauty supply store. And maybe I shouldn't have married Jalecia's father because he was in love with drugs and alcohol. And maybe I shouldn't have married Jackson's father, who turned out not to be crazy about the truth. I can't even remember why I said yes, except that I was pregnant and he wanted to marry me. Maybe I shouldn't have let Jalecia quit singing or stop playing the piano, even though she lost interest when she got pregnant in her senior year. Her brother went to art school and she resented him for loving what he did and being good at it. Maybe I should have been a better referee. I always felt split because I loved them both. The parking meter clicked expire, but I did not get out of the car to add more money, even though I didn't want to go home yet. I called Cinnamon. Have you heard from your mom? Yes. She was drunk, but she said she loved me and that the twins and you, and that she was sorry for always disappointing us. She says she is tired of not being a good mother and daughter, that she is going to clean up her act, and not to worry if we don't hear from her for a while because she's going somewhere safe to dry out. I pressed the palm of my hand against my chest because this was the first time I've ever known Jalecia to admit that she cared about my feelings. It didn't matter that I had to hear it secondhand. Some emotions are hard to express, and maybe my daughter had to go through hell to get to higher ground. I just wished I knew what demon she was struggling with. but maybe she didn't know yet either. Do you really think she's somewhere safe drying out, Senna? I hope so, Grandma. I give her credit for reaching out and for saying what she did. I'm going to try not to worry. Even though she was drunk, she seemed steely. Love you. I said the same and hit end. I sat there until a police officer pulled up beside me. Before he could write me a ticket, I started the car and pulled out of the parking space. I didn't want to go home. I turned the headlights on and drove straight to Sadie's new church because I knew it was Tuesday and she had choir practice. I felt like praying. Her new church was old. It used to be a movie theater. The front had dull blue-green columns and the windows needed to be washed. It was another non-denominational church. When I pulled into the parking lot, I wondered how I would explain what I was doing there. I would tell Sadie the truth. She liked honesty, except when it came to herself. But as soon as I put my Volvo in park, I changed my mind because Sadie was not the one I needed to talk to, which is why I closed my eyes, bowed my head, and wove my fingers together. Dear God, first of all, please forgive me for not going to church on a regular basis. Well, for years, even though you already know that. But I also hope you know how much respect I have for you and all that you've done for me, especially helping me learn how to live without my husband. It has not been easy. I still believe in your power. And right now, I'm just asking if you would give some relief and strength and courage to my daughter. I'm not asking you to fix her problems because I know you're not a magician, but it would be our little secret, and I promise to do my best to be a better mother. My daughter needs more than my help. She needs yours too. Thank you and amen. As I slowly lifted my head, I heard a tapping on the window. Wow, that was quick. Girl, what are you doing here? Why are you sitting in your car in the dark with the lights off? You okay? Roll down the window. And I did. At first, I was embarrassed, and then I wasn't. I was coming to see you, Sadie. I find that hard to believe. This is about Jalecia, isn't it? I can just tell. I nodded my head slowly. Well, God will hear you. You feel like stopping by my apartment? I'll make you some hot tea. Is the minister there? No, he is not. Where is he? I evicted him. You did? For real? Why the sudden change of heart? I busted him talking to his wife, and I told him he should go back to her. Good for you, Sadie. Really, I mean it. So did he go back? Nope, she didn't want him back. She changed the locks and filed for divorce. How do you know? Because I called her to apologize for what I've done, and she told me I wasn't the first, but I was the last. She said as women, we need to stop blaming each other when it's really men who are weak. And you thought she was your enemy? I said. The problem was I never thought about her at all, enemy or otherwise. Well, Sadie, I just have to say how proud I am that you finally showed some self-respect. Where'd you get the courage? Honestly. What all of us committed to in Las Vegas was just what I needed to hear. You said what I already knew to be true, that it is still important to keep improving our lives, even at our age, and we should treat ourselves better and stop acting like our best years are behind us. Amen was all I could say to that. Okay, that's the end of chapter 17. Why did Jalecia call her mom, agree to let her mom come pick her up, but not be there? Is she playing games with her mother? Is she playing with on her mother's emotions? And Lo have no clue what is her problem. Will Jalecia ever tell her what it is? I'm trying not to have bad thoughts and thinking what it is. but it's something deep. Unless Jalecia is one of those people that require a lot of attention, and because her mother had to work, and there was another sibling that her mother had to look after, maybe Jalecia didn't like that, and she's blaming her mother for everything. But that's only a guess. And is Peggy and Jalecia in cahoots? Because it's weird that Peggy called and then Jalecia called while she was talking to Peggy. And then Peggy, like I said earlier, said that she would be there for her mother to pick up. Like, are they trying to distract her mom from something? I don't know. It's a lot of questions, right? But anyway, that's the end of this chapter. I shall see you in the next chapter. Bye for now.